Thank you so much for giving us a call. Autumn, you're chatting with Kelly and SR. What is up?
Hello. I'm all right. I hope my thing's relatively self-explanatory. I'm an atheist. I've always been an atheist. My partner grew up Catholic, but currently kind of follows the theistic evolution model of, oh, God set everything in motion. But anyway, to get to the point, something that I often find she has trouble with is this, like, she'll panic over, oh, I'm going to go to hell. Or if, she's a little full and pother, she'll say, fuck, I'm such a glutton, and things like that. And it's super concerning. And I don't want to necessarily, deconvert her. That's not my job. That's not my point. And that's a lot of effort anyway, But, like, what can be done to, kind of help qualm this fear of hell? Because it's something that I see hurt them. And seeing it hurt them, that isn't part of my job as a partner, is to, like, help through stuff like this. And it sucks to see them hurt so much,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think you really laid out, again, just kind of, we had a caller earlier saying about, like, why do all this shit and whatnot. And I think you laid out exactly why, like, yeah, we see people that we really, really give a shit about that are hurting because of these things. And we don't want them to hurt. And even worse so, like, than just the fact that they're hurting, right? Like, they're hurting for something that, we believe is not true, So, like, let's dissuade them of that. Right. But Kelly, what do you, I'll give you the first crack at that. What can you offer for help with their partner that's struggling with this?
My advice would be to concentrate on the action and not the religion. So when they say something like you just gave me the example of, I am such a glutton, talk about the gluttony, not about why they think they're a glutton, because we know why, because it's one of the 7 deadly sins, right? But talk about, hey, well, why do you think you're being a glutton? Do you think you're eating too much? And maybe start approaching it from that angle. And that way you're not attacking her religion or her core beliefs. So, and people, I think most people have an inborn need to make themselves better. And if you approach it with a very positive attitude, most people, especially if you're close to them, will be open to having that conversation. So I would, like I said, I think I would approach it that way and not even talk about religion at all when you're starting this conversation. And then maybe after so many months, they might realize that what they have been doing is giving up these preconceived notions of bad behavior that have been inbred into them as a theist, as a Christian. And it may take months, it may take years. It's harder to unlearn things than it is to learn things. So be patient. And that's about the best advice I have on that one. SR?
Yeah. I think that's really good. And I think what everything you've said so far, Autumn, honestly, to me sounds like you are, doing exactly what you should be doing. Again, you're totally right. It's not your job to try to convince your partner of something other than what they believe, right? Absolutely engage honestly with them whenever y'all want to have these conversations. Of course, don't lie or hide what you actually believe, but being a support system for them is absolutely the right way to go. Because we all know on the non-believer side, right? We all know how much it fucking sucks whenever you're just trying to talk with a friend and be like, man, I'm having a rough time. And they're like, if only you loved Jesus, like that's shitty. So definitely don't be that person as an atheist. But really, I think because, so far it sounds like you really are on the right path. And I loved what Kelly offered. I'm just going to try and offer some resources in the sense of, like, recovering from religion. And what I would do when you offer that is you make very clear that this is not an organization that is exclusively and only for people who actively are wanting to get out of a belief system. Not in the slightest, right? It is not just a place for somebody who has experienced years and years of trauma from these various religious organizations. Absolutely. that organization is a fucking amazing organization for all of that. And the trained staff that they have do a phenomenal job. But they also just talk to people. They also just, as humans, communicate with another individual that's going through a tough time. And that's really, really helpful. And they won't sit there and berate your partner and say, why are you still believing in this stupid hell thing? Don't you know it's not real? They won't do any of that junk. They're going to be there to listen and care and show that compassion and support that you have been doing for your partner. And it just, there's something about using other people as sounding boards, right? There's something about saying some stuff out loud sometimes that really helps it kind of sink in and so forth. And maybe there will just be a really good moment where your partner can kind of say something out loud and then catch themselves and go, I've never said that out loud. And now that I do, maybe it's just not that big of a deal. I will real quick before we give it back to you, Autumn, just because I saw this super chat come in from a new member and it's related to this and it kind of made me giggle. So I want to read this real quick. William Blanken, $5, thank you so much, said, if your partner thinks they're going to hell, Autumn, just let them know that they'll be able to share their time in eternal damnation with you by their side. That was just sweet, I thought. So yeah, go ahead, Autumn.
I have told them before. Yeah. Well, first of all, I have literally told them before, but they're like, that's not how hell works. We're not. Right. In any case, I guess this one, kind of what Kelly said earlier. That what if? Because sometimes it's not even directly connected to an action. It's just this sudden fear she'll have, what in the immediate to get them to hey, it's okay, calm down. Even if this is real, this is so far in the future. This isn't something you need to be so concerned with. But they'll just have this panicking, God, I'm going to go to hell. Fuck, I'm such an awful person. You're going to go to hell. You're an atheist. I can't let you go to hell. And it's this, just spiral. And oftentimes it doesn't seem, and they won't, or they'll just not tell me that it's connected to something they did that makes them feel like such an awful person. They panic. I can't find a better word than panic.
I'm sorry I laughed. I just saw somebody in the chat said J Mike finally shaved. I'm sorry I laughed. But yeah, that's one of the things that I hear a lot is that Pete, that there's fear of hell. It seems like it's one of the hardest things for theists who have given up their religion to get a hold of. I mean, we've heard probably dozens of calls here to this show and the other ACA shows with people who still fear hell and they can't get rid of it. And it is a real problem. And that is not something that my solution is going to help, because hell is intrinsically wrapped up within the religion. However, you can talk about the fear itself and maybe try to get them to understand that they don't need to be so fearful of it, or try to get them to not be so fearful of it. Be there for them. Be there to be to bolster their emotions. And I think that's probably about the best you can do. And even if your partner does come out of religion, this hell thing might be something you're going to have to deal with for a long time. So be prepared for that, because it does seem to be a big problem with a lot of people who deconvert. So yeah. But you just have to show compassion and pull them through it.
And I'll shout one more reference out there, just because I think she is truly an incredible person, and has made such amazing progress in this field. Marlene Winnell is the individual who coined the term religious trauma syndrome. And she helps put on the conference on religious trauma. I don't know if they're doing one this year or not. They did one last year. But I would absolutely say, for your help, for your benefit, it might really help you understand a bit more looking into that. It might be something really cool that you two can do as partners and look at together and take those first steps into maybe understanding some more of that. Again, this isn't something that, not trying to actively pull your partner out of their belief. Of course not. Not trying to change their mind on anything. Just trying to let them know that, there is help out there. There are people who have an understanding of these things, and there are methods to make it better. So yeah, I'm big fans of Marlene Winnell and Dr. Daryl Ray, and Dr. Daryl Ray is the guy. Him and Gail Jordan are the ones behind Recovering from Religion. They're pretty amazing people. So, oh yeah, and I'm just getting a reminder from our wonderful crew, of course, to mention the Secular Therapy Project, which is also an amazing organization in partnership with RFR. Seriously, all of those people and those organizations, massive legends, in my opinion. Freaking legends. Anything else you wanna say to us before we let you go, Autumn?
Not really. Just thanks for picking up my call. Thanks for the help.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm not the only one in a similar situation. So
Absolutely.
hopefully someone else in the audience, finds it interesting or useful. Have a lovely day, and I will be listening as the show continues.
Good luck, Autumn. I wish you the very best on your journey forward, and I hope everything works out for you and your partner.